Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Bilco. This is their part number RPRS33. This is a handle assembly used in roof hatches. First of all, we're going to go over what this entails, what's included. You're going to get the what would be the exterior handle assembly, and this handle assembly gives you the ability to padlock the unit from the outside. The spindle will have a hole drilled in it for the roll pin that is installed on the interior handle. And you can padlock it from the interior as well, because the lock body will have an additional angle bracket along with a staple on the sidewall for you to padlock all that closed. Getting this put together would just be a matter of driving that roll pin down through the hole that's drilled there. Gasket is included for the outside. You're also going to get 2 hex cap screws and 2 washers. Okay, you'll notice or take note they have a different dimension on the head. That's because you're going to want to use the smaller head underneath here, where they have those washers stacked so that you can rotate the handle. Okay, now the key stock size is 0.312 by 0.314, so 5/16 square. The size of this is 4 15/16. Now that's generally a dimension of the spindle itself. So I'm estimating where the spindle ends inside of the handle. So it's probably coming somewhere about here, the overall length. Where this is used is, truthfully, is unknown. The standard size is 4 5/8. Why they would have one that would be, 5/16 longer, I don't know. And the reason I don't know is because they don't publish a bill of materials for all of their roof hatches. It would be nice if they did. We'd know what they used and where. The fact of the matter is, if you're looking for a handle set, it may not be the RPRS33 because, and I only say this because of how infrequently we sell it. I would be expecting that you would need one that would be 4 5/8 overall length. And again, that's the length of the spindle. So we're, again, judging in terms of how far into the handle the spindle goes. You can see where 4 5/16 comes into play. Okay, so about, say, a little bit longer than this dimension, but not too far off. Okay, so try to estimate. Oh, you know what? Here, let's do this. Here's a better example. Pull that gasket off. From that preparation, you can see right here, the spindle obviously has been worked so that it can indeed rotate. Okay, from that preparation, it's about 4 3/4, maybe just heavy on that. So use that as a guideline to determine if this is the item you need. They make these in different lengths, probably at least 5 or so, but 4 5/8 would be the typical one that we sell quite frequently. So be mindful that I would be expecting you to order 4 5/8, but we've given some dimensions in terms of how to determine that. Now let's switch to the screen view and just take a closer look at some supporting documentation. Now this is the item that we're looking at. Images that we've taken of the unit itself. Shaft length we've covered, 4 15/16. Replacement roof hatch, body, and the gasket are linked to here, associated items. This is in essence what this does look like. Okay, and again, the only thing we really can't tell you is what roof hatch this is going to come off of or need to go back onto. Instructions. This will be a generic document that would apply to all such handle assemblies and their lock assemblies. This entire item you're seeing here, although you don't see all of the parts, is the RPRS7. The next link below here is the technical information. Gives us an idea of the different replacement spindles. So what we've measured is L minus 3/8 minus 27/30 seconds. And you'll note that none of the, well, let's take a look. 5 5/8. No, it's not even close. So the shaft that we have on this unit doesn't even fall into this table that's here. But you can buy those shafts separately should you want to replace only that. And then the parts drawing. Now, this does actually talk about a 4 15/16. And here we go. Now, we know that we've got this listed as the RPRS33, but quite clearly, they're giving us an SD709-2 lock shaft length, 4 15/16. Okay, so why two different part numbers? Again, I don't know. So we list them in the different part numbers that we've discovered are published in the interest of simply helping you determine what you need. Now, because this video will really serve primarily as a, an example of the item itself, its dimensional properties, etc., and this supporting documentation, it's important to note that the best way to determine what parts you need is to simply obtain the serial number from the sidewall of the unit and send that to us. But we'll talk about that more in a moment. Now, they are telling us that the SDS709-2, this is the SS version, which would be stainless steel, would be used, let's see here now. With a 2-point lock. I'm not familiar with what they're using on a 2-point lock, except that they obviously refer to it as working on a 2-point lock. So unfortunately, there's a certain amount of gray area when it comes to determining what you need. A link here below this video to the manufacturer's page will allow you to review not only all of the Bilco products that we sell by means of this horizontal navigation, but a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. And that document is very handy because it will allow you to review all things Bilco related. Okay, obviously roof hatches, floor doors, fire rated material, different applications, different sizes, customization, things of that nature. Let's wrap up this video on camera. Now, admittedly, this video may not have been of a lot of use, but we have shown you the size, we have shown you what it looks like. Now, the way to find out absolutely what you require without any guesswork is to, again, send us the serial number from the sidewall. It will say Bilco, it will have serial number. I think they're 8-digit numbers, 7 or 8, I believe they're 8. And when it comes to roof hatches, I believe they start with a 0 or maybe a 00. However, you may not have a serial number, and that's because Bilco they have not always used serial numbers. There was a time where they manufactured items that predated the use of serial numbers. In that instance, and in the instance of when you have a serial number, send us 3 things. Send us as much of these 3 things as you can. The serial number, the composition. What is the lid made of? Is it steel? Is it aluminum? Number 3, send us the depth and then the width. The width is the dimension that the hinges are on. So when you stand in front of a roof hatch and you open it in front of you, the first dimension is how deep it is and then how wide it is. Bonus would be sending us as many photographs as you can muster. And then what we do is, advocating on our mutual behalf, we contact the factory, and give them all of the information that we need, and then ask for what the proper lifting mechanism, handle assembly, lock assembly, hinge, gasket, whatever else there may be on the unit. And that's the true way to go about doing this, because there can be no guesswork when it comes to hardware for roof hatches, most especially when it comes to their lifting mechanisms, because the spring rate is engineered based on the size and the weight of the lid, the composition. That's why we want to know what it's made of. That will also tell us what sort of hardware that we're dealing with, whether it's a non-ferrous or a ferrous installation, because all of the hardware will change as well. If you have any questions on the Bilco, this is their part number RPRS33 turn handle assembly, or any other Bilco product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you. If you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up. Please click subscribe as well, and even share the video with someone that you know. And if you have any questions for a future video, please send them our way and we will make every attempt to oblige. And thank you very much.